Okay, so hi everybody and welcome to Conversations to Thrive. We come here to discuss and explore topics and ideas that support us in living a life of health and vitality and ultimately thriving. I'm the founder of the Thrive community where I support people with holistic and sustainable weight loss and other health goals. And then Denise is here to teach us about Qigong, and Dr. Christine is here to teach us about the nervous system and help us to reset it. And I'm super excited to have them both here. And I'm going to turn it over to Denise to tell us about Qigong.
Wonderful. Thank you.
And if you want to
Um,
introduce yourself further, please do that before your presentation as well.
sure. Awesome. Thanks. Yes, I found Qigong when I was doing a mindfulness-based stress reduction program, and we did just like the tiniest little bit in that class, and I was just like, ooh, very excited. And so I signed up and started taking a class from a local teacher. And from the very first class that I took, I was like, I want to share this with everyone because it's so wonderful for me. I tried yoga in the past, but I really struggled with the stillness, holding poses. And so I really love that Qigong is movement, a lot of more movement. And that is easier for me to anchor my mind to than sitting still. Um, so Qigong, if you're unfamiliar, Qi is energy or the life force or that which animates us, and Gong means to work or cultivate or make function properly. So Qigong is getting our energy flowing smoothly, is the focus of the practice. It's part of traditional Chinese medicine. It's sort of the original Chinese medicine. It began with shamans in the forest mimicking the animals, trying to embody their energies. And so it's been practiced for thousands of years, and there's a lot of different Qigong practices. There in Chinese medicine, it's more of a whole system perspective. So it's looking at like 5 organ systems, which are correlated with 5 colors and elements. And there's just a lot of more of a systemic view of the body instead of like in Western medicine, we sort of break it down into pieces and parts. And so in Qigong, we talk about the energy flow through meridians, which are like pathways that go through the body, connecting the different organ systems. And there are dantians, which means an elixir field. And so there's a lower dantian, which is just below the navel. It's associated with our body. There's the middle dantian around the heart, associated with the heart mind. And then the upper dantian is where our third eye would be, and that is associated with the spirit. So we're integrating the body, the heart, mind, and the spirit through the Qigong practice. So those are some terms that I'll use. And there's yin and yang energy, and it's sort of a balance of the two. Tai Chi is actually a subset of Qigong, and is more about the balancing of opposites in the Tai Chi practice, which is a little bit different from what I'm offering today. So today I thought I would share some very simple practices that you can easily integrate into daily life. They come from my teacher trainer, and his goal was to make this practice, Qigong and Tai Chi, which was generally accessible to only the really privileged, make it accessible to everyone. So it's some very simple exercises that I'll share with you. And there are a few rules. The first rule is to stay within your comfort zone, about 75% of your full range of motion. So you're not pushing into any discomfort in your body, just checking in where you are. We're connecting the body and the breath. So if there's anything that feels uncomfortable that we're doing, you can actually, being gentle with your body and staying in your comfort zone, you can just visualize something. Like if my shoulder is hurting and I can't lift my arm up, then I can just visualize that I'm lifting my arm. And that actually fires a lot of the same neurons that lifting my arm would do. And so it helps build the capacity if you're feeling some limitations in your movement. Qigong incorporates breath, movement, meditation, and massage. And we'll do mostly movement and breath work as part of the practice today. And yes, with that, I think I'll begin. I can do a sitting or standing practice. Does anyone have a preference on which we do? Anyone?
Oh, I'm open. Like, I'm so excited. This is
Okay.
exciting.
Is everybody comfortable doing a standing practice? Does that feel good? Okay, let's do that then. All right. So for our Qigong practice, we start with 3 mindful adjustments. So we're going to focus on the body, the mind, and the breath. Body, breath, and the mind. So first of all, we start with our alignment. So we start with our feet shoulder width apart. Your knees are going to be soft. And then in our practice, we tuck the tailbone under or tip the pelvic basket upward. I was taught a couple different ways. You can sit, it's like you're sitting on the edge of a bar stool with your tailbone tucked under. Or if you think of your organs as a bowl of fruit, you tip the pelvic bone upward to help keep that bowl of fruit in the bowl. So this helps create a nice straight spine. So we think about the energy that goes through our nervous system. It goes down this pathway along our spine. And so creating a nice straight spine allows the energy to flow smoother. So our feet are shoulder width, knees are soft, tailbone tucked under, and then we stretch up nice and long through the crown of the head. And I'm going to step back just a bit here. Nice and long through the crown of the head. And we're going to bring our arms out, just a little space underneath the arms. And first of all, we're just going to connect with the body. So noticing how this feels. It might feel a little awkward if you've never done this before. You might notice some places of tension or tenderness, or you might notice that some energy flow has opened up in some places. So just taking a moment here to connect with the body and notice how the body feels in this position. And once we check in with that alignment and notice the sensations in the body, we're going to begin to bring our attention to the breath. So just gently at first noticing your breath, noticing where your breath is moving in your body. So as you inhale, noticing where the breath goes. And then on the exhale, just noticing how the body responds. And just at first, we notice, is our breath smooth or choppy? Is it fast or slow? And then after we take a moment noticing the breath, we're going to focus our attention on the breath and into a nice deep belly breath. So breathing into the belly, filling it nice and full. And then filling your chest. And then on the exhale, just allowing the diaphragm to relax and the breath to escape. Nice deep belly breath. When we breathe into our belly, we expand the diaphragm. That actually releases relaxing neurotransmitters in the body. So it's sort of the simplest form of Qigong is the nice deep breath, connecting with the body. And then once we connect with our belly breath, we're going to allow our mind to be clear. And if you have thoughts of what you're going to do next or what happened earlier today or any concerns or worries, just let those thoughts pass on by, keeping your attention on the body and the breath. Just a nice deep breath connecting with your body. So that's the 3 mindful adjustments, checking in with our alignment, our breath, and allowing the mind to be clear. So now I'm going to invite you to just welcome some movement back into your body, noticing anything that wants to be moved as we held that position for a few minutes there. And then next we're going to do, one of the rules I forgot to share with you is it's better to do it wrong than not at all. So don't worry about if you're doing it wrong. Just be gentle with yourself, connect your body and your breath and the movement. That's the important part of the practice. So again, we find our feet shoulder width apart, knees are soft, tailbone is tucked under, the pelvic basket forward. Inhaling nice and long through the crown of the head. We're just going to let our arms relax at our side. And as we inhale, we're elongating, creating space between the vertebrae. And then on the exhale, we're just going to gently relax our head and shoulders to the side. And then as we inhale, we'll elongate nice and long through the spine. And then exhaling, gently falling to the other side. And this is just a gentle relaxing. I kind of think of it as the inverse of a stretch. So we're just seeing how far you can relax on the exhale. And inhaling, we're elongating and creating space between the vertebrae. Exhaling, relaxing to the side, the head and shoulders. And that actually helps push synovial fluid in between the vertebrae. So you're sort of fluffing the pillows between the vertebrae. Nice inhale on the straight up, and then exhaling, falling to the side. Inhaling, we elongate. Exhaling, just falling to the side. We'll do one more on each side. Inhaling, elongating. Exhaling, relaxing to the side. And then you can inhale back up nice and long. Maybe increase your stance just a smidge here. And we're going to do the right and left side bend, and we're going to add a little to it. So inhaling, elongating, and then exhaling, we're going to reach our arm up to the sky. Oh, sorry, there's dogs. Inhaling, we're nice and long. Exhaling, up to the side. Inhaling, we come back to our center. Exhaling, hand up. Feeling that stretch all the way down the side of the body. Inhaling, nice and long. Exhaling, arms up. And let's do one more on each side. So we're inhaling, nice and long at the center, exhaling, stretching up to the side. Okay, and we're going to come back to the center. And the next one in the Qigong is sort of inward and outward. So for this one, we're going to check in with our alignment. Our feet are shoulder width apart, knees are soft, tailbones tucked under, stretching up nice and long through the crown of the head. We're going to inhale and bring our arms up. Just fill yourself full of a nice big deep breath. And then on the exhale, we're going to contract and squeeze our muscles and curl up into a little ball. Inhaling, we're going to expand and relax. Exhaling, we're contracting and squeezing. And I was taught the visualization of wringing out a sponge. So you inhale and fill yourself full of fresh healing chi. And then exhaling, we're squeezing, contracting all the muscles from your toes to the top of your head, your face and buttocks. And then inhaling, filling yourself full again. And this is really good for pumping the lymph through the body. It's a passive system, but breath and muscle contractions will help move the lymphatic fluid in your body. So inhaling, we're expanding, and exhaling, contracting. Inhaling and exhaling. We'll inhale, do a couple more. And one more, filling yourself full. And then squeezing and wringing yourself out. And then one more, inhaling up. And let's just bring our arms down to our side. Okay. And the next in the series is called Upward and Outward. So for this one, we're gonna have our feet shoulder width, knees are soft, tailbone tucked under, nice and long through the crown of the head, shoulders relaxed. And as we inhale, we're gonna interlace our fingers just below the navel, bring them up the front of the body, and then we're gonna flip them up, push them up towards the sky. And then on the exhale, our hands gently come down. So you can visualize inhaling, bringing up the yin energy from the earth. Yeah, mixing it with the yang energy of heaven. And then showering yourself with qi. Inhaling up. Exhaling, the arms come down.
Denise, are you there? Seems like it froze. Okay, well maybe her camera is having a glitch moment. Maybe let's do 3 more of those. 3 more inhaling. The arms coming up. And then as you exhale, opening out and showering yourself with qi. And then 2 more, bringing the energy up from the earth. And as you exhale, showering yourself with goodness and with qi. And then last one. Okay, well, it looks like we lost Denise, so maybe she'll join us a little bit. In a little bit, hopefully she'll be able to connect back in. But in the meantime, maybe we can turn it over to Dr. Christine to tell us about the nervous system. Felt wonderful to do those movements. I was sad that we lost our teacher, but
Yeah.
she gave us a lot to work with.
So hopefully, as you did the movements, you noticed where you're tight or stiff or sore, or like just even flipping your palms and raising your arms. It's interesting to see when you're actually moving and you're present for the movements, what's tight, what's sore, what's stiff. all of your muscles are lined with what we call fascia. And so fascia is like the gristle on meat, but it breaks into smaller and smaller parts. So if you take an orange, it's got the outside covering, and that would be like the fascia maybe under our skin. And then when you break the orange into slices, there's a lining on that slice, and there's a lining on each little section in the orange itself. And that's the way the fascia is in our body. Our internal organs, everything is lined with fascia, and it breaks down to the smallest level, which is lining the cell. Every cell in our body has what we call an extracellular matrix. And so the big fascial sheets that people talk about are, get sore over your hamstring strings or your quadricep or your buttocks. We know about those, but it's knowing that at the smallest level, when we do Tai Chi and yoga, and when we hydrate, and when we take care of ourselves, and when we manage our stress, that we're actually increasing energy and information and circulation and all the good stuff going to every cell in our body. So that's the advantage of doing these types of exercises. And our fascia also tightens when we're under stress. So we have the nervous system, what we call the autonomic nervous system. And your nervous system has different components. There's a fight flight component. There's a freeze component. So when your nervous system is so stressed it can't take it anymore, you kind of go into this numb freeze state. And then if you're in thrive, so these conversations are thrive conversations. If you're in thrive, you have been able to reset your system into a state where your whole being can connect with itself, and you're calm and socially engaged and comfortable in your own skin. The problem with the world that we live in right now is that it's really hard to get to that state. And even if we get there, it's hard to maintain it. Someone brings up a difficult conversation. There's so many things that just flip our switch now that is different to me than it used to be 3, 4, 5, 6 years ago, where it didn't feel like you were in a constant state of external threat. So I learned about the fascia in medical school. I'm a DO. So in medical school, we learned that your structure and your function are tied together by your fascia, and that to be healthy and have your nervous system operate properly, a healthy fascia is necessary. And the founder of osteopathic medicine was A.T. Still, and he believed that our soul actually is our fascia. It's our river of life. It's carrying the nutrients, the oxygen, the blood, the neurochemicals, the hormones, all of the things that we need to our entire body if our fascia is open and working properly. But if we're injured, if we have surgery and they cut the fascia, or we're under too much stress, all of that restricts the fascia. And then in Chinese medicine, they have the meridians. So the meridians are really 12 channels that energy flows through your body, and those channels can become blocked. So when you're doing Qigong, you're opening those channels so that there is that flow of energy and information from your body to your brain. And what we know is your nervous system, your autonomic nervous system, and actually carries more information from your body then your brain carries to your body. So all of these strategies are what we call bottom up. So you're actually tapping in and paying attention to what's going on in your body instead of ignoring it and just pushing through. And you're using the breath and the movement and different types of touch to open the fascia and the meridians and to allow yourself to be in that thrive state. So all of these are practices, but the key is that your stress hormone is cortisol. And when you become stressed, that cortisol lasts in your system for 12 hours. When you're happy or, in that state of thrive, your nervous system is calm and you're connected with other people and you feel kind of in the flow, those neurochemicals only last 2 hours. So it's really a dosing thing. How can I dose myself with the thrive activities all day long so that it's an antidote to dumping cortisol? So the main things that activate your parasympathetic thrive nervous system are common sense, I guess. And they've been used in traditions all over the world for thousands of years. So humming, singing, chanting, laughing, movement, touch, hugging, cold water immersion. You can turn your shower to cold right at the end, and that will calm your nervous system into a thrive state. Gargling, yawning, smiling, and your facial nerve is part of your parasympathetic thrive activation. So that's why smiling is so important. The humming, the singing, the chanting are important because there's a branch of your vagus nerve that attaches to your vocal cord. The yawning, the gargling, those activate the swallowing part of your vagus nerve. So your vagus nerve innervates your eyes, the back of your throat, your esophagus, your whole intestines, your heart, your lungs, all your internal organs. So now there's a lot of people who talk about how it's our nervous system, our gut system that's out of whack. And that's because your gut system is innervated by the nerve that should be taking you into the thrive state. But if you're always stressed and the foods that you're eating are stressing your system, then you can't go into that thrive, rest, and digest state. Does that make sense?
Yes.
It's really that we've separated ourselves so much from the common sense things that we can do. And that's why community and connecting to other people is so important for our health and well-being as well. And the moods, the things that make us happy. How can we live in that place where we just feel content? So I have, just like Denise, a couple of exercises that I would like to do to help you have those strategies that you can do every hour or every couple hours to bring yourself into that thrive state so that you're living in that space, maybe without the media or all of the external things that we let in that take us into that fight or flight or just numb place where we feel helpless and hopeless. So one of them is what we call tapping, our emotional freedom technique. And with that technique, we tap on acupuncture meridians. So again, we're trying to open those areas that become stuck where our fascia is tight and we're under too much stress. And that tapping releases those areas. So the tapping that you'll do first is you'll tap under your pinky, like on your wrist. And the words that I say, and I can, maybe Sarah, you could type them into the chat. are releasing all resistance. I'm living to my full potential and allowing the universe to unfold as it should. And then you go to the top of your head, releasing all resistance. I'm living to my full potential and allowing the universe to unfold as it should. And then just above your eyebrows, releasing all resistance. I'm living to my full potential and allowing the universe to unfold as it should. Then you're going to tap on your temples, releasing all resistance. I'm living to my full potential and allowing the universe to unfold as it should. And then under your eyes, releasing all resistance. I'm living to my full potential and allowing the universe to unfold as it should. And tap under your nose, releasing all resistance. I'm living to my full potential and allowing the universe to unfold as it should. And then under your lower lip, releasing all resistance. I'm living to my full potential and allowing the universe to unfold as it should. And then you can tap under your clavicles, releasing all resistance. I'm living to my full potential and allowing the universe to unfold as it should. And then on your breastbone, just between your breasts, releasing all resistance. I'm living to my full potential and allowing the universe to unfold as it should. Then you go to your solar plexus, so just under your ribs, releasing all resistance. I'm living to my full potential and allowing the universe to unfold as it should. And then below your belly button to that lower dantian, releasing all resistance. I'm living to my full potential and allowing the universe to unfold as it should. And then you'll bring your hands up from your belly button to the bottom of your ribs. And then maybe move them 2 fingers up, and there should be a little dimple that you feel in your ribs. And you'll tap on both sides, you'll tap on that area. That's liver and gallbladder acupressure point. Releasing all resistance. I'm living to my full potential and allowing the universe to unfold as it should. And then next, you'll take your hands and just hug under the front of your underarms. And that's a heart meridian. Releasing all resistance. I'm living to my full potential and allowing the universe to unfold as it should. And then you'll hug yourself. And so hugging is one of the best ways to produce oxytocin, to calm your nervous system and bring you into that thrive state. So I want you just to hug yourself and know that you're a blessing and be grateful that you're here tonight and learning how to take care of yourself. And next, you'll just cross your hands like this and place them on your heart. So again, it's your heart meridian right there in the center of your chest. And I want you to imagine that you're breathing in and out through your heart. So there's fascial tissue that surrounds your heart and your lungs and your diaphragm and connects all that area together. So when we're doing those deep breaths that Denise taught us, we can actually imagine we're breathing in and out through our heart. We're pressing our hands together, and that increases oxytocin, which is a feel-good chemical that will go through your fascia and to your extracellular matrix. And you send yourself gratitude and appreciation. We can do that for other people, but we have a hard time doing it for ourselves. So in this moment, if you can just send yourself some love, care, and appreciation, there's actually research that shows shifting to that renewing emotion of gratitude is huge in allowing us to live in a thrive state and produce what we call thrive neurochemicals. So take a couple more deep breaths. And if you have a hard time sending yourself love and appreciation, you can send that to your pet, someone you know, someone else you love, or even take yourself to your favorite place, maybe a place where you would explore as a child or that you loved as a child. And that becomes what we call an inner resource, that you can just use your five senses and go back to that space at any time. Your mind, body, spirit doesn't know the difference between what's real and imagined. So we take advantage of our imagination and live in the good experiences we've had in life. We tend to live in the ones that aren't so good, but we can change the channel, tap into our heart, release our fascia, and live in the awe and wonder and gratitude that we've experienced in our life. So has anybody done those kind of practices before? The heart focused breathing is called heart math. The tapping is called emotional freedom technique. You can just open your mic if you want to talk.
I learned the emotional freedom technique in my Qigong teacher training as well. As part of our training.
I know that we kind of cut you off, Denise, because we lost you. So if there's any comments that you would like to say about that, about tapping and the releasing of the meridians with the tapping.
In Chinese medicine, the way I've learned it is that disease is either when our energy is deficient, so like thinking of low energy, which I think is really intuitive, or if it's in excess. And when it's in excess, it can get stuck. And so I think of the tapping as breaking up that energy that's getting stuck in excess, kind of like the cars on the freeway, just breaking up the traffic jam.
Nice. And were there any other movements, Denise, that you wanted to do?
There was one other movement called flowing motion that I'd be happy to share if we have time. I apologize, my housemate decided to reset the router because her internet wasn't working great.
Okay.
These things always happen when you're on a Zoom call or something. It's amazing.
Yep. Yeah.
Well,
Do
if
you-
you want to guide us through that, and then I can, or you can guide us through the whole Qigong tapping series. I do one where you're opening the meridians, your arms and your legs, your feet, your buttocks, all of that stuff.
How about I do the flowing motion and then you can lead the tapping? That sounds
Okay, sounds great.
All right. Should we get back on our feet? All right. So this one's called flowing motion. Again, we have our feet shoulder width apart, knees are soft, tailbone tucked under, nice and long through the crown of the head, and let our arms relax with our palms facing forward. So we inhale and we bring our palms up to shoulder height. And then exhaling, palms are facing down and then coming back down to your side. So we inhale, palms up. Exhaling, the palms are coming down. And just, this is called flowing motion, and in Chinese medicine, they have some really wonderful stories that accompany some of the practices. And this one, they say if you have, do it 100 times a day, you can achieve optimal health. And if you do it 1,000 times a day, you can achieve immortality. So there's some goals if you'd like. Inhaling up, coming down. And so we're going to add a little bit to this. So as we inhale, bringing our palms up, we're going to also lift our heels off the ground just a little bit. And staying in your comfort zone, and exhaling, we sink back down, plant our heels, and then just stretch your toes up as your hands are coming down to your side. And then inhaling, we're lifting our hands and our heels. Exhaling, coming down, planting our heels, stretching our toes. Inhaling up, exhaling down. And all of these that I've shared with you feel like are really nice to just sprinkle throughout your day. So to help you get back into a nice thrive state. This one I actually find myself doing without the arm motions when I'm standing in line at the grocery or somewhere just standing. I connect with the breath. Inhaling, lifting heels and hands. Exhaling, planting them, and then stretching your toes. Let's just do a couple more. And the last one here. All right. So that was flowing motion, the last in the Qigong series.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
So we'll stay standing and we'll do Qigong exercise. So the tapping
Okay.
on the forehead, the top of the head, you can add to this. So why don't we put it together? So we'll start again with just tapping on your wrist. And, you know, any affirmation that your mantra that you're used to using, you can use at this time. Then tap on the top of your head, above your eyebrows, on your temples, under your eyes, under your nose, under your lower lip, and then tap on your clavicles, and tap on your breastbone, tap solar plexus, and then below your belly button. And then you'll bring your hands out and just rub them together. And you can clap if you want. And you'll start with left palm down. And you're tapping on the top of your arm all the way to your shoulder. And you can make a fist and tap on your trap and tap up your neck. Tap back down again. Flip thumb up and tap down your arm around your fingers to the pinky side of your hand, tapping up your arm to your elbow, your forearm, and then tap into your armpit, and then flip your palm up to the sky and tap down your arm again. So past your elbow, forearm, hand, and then rub your hands and clap again. And you'll flip palm down on the right arm, tap up the right arm, send some love to your neck muscles to release the stress of the weight of the world. And thumb up to the sky, tapping your arm, your elbow, your forearm, around your fingers, to your wrist, forearm, elbow, triceps, and then under your arm, and then palm to the sky, and tap down your arm. And then rub and clap, and then bring your hands to your chest. So once again, tapping on your chest, solar plexus, lower dantian, so below your belly button, and then you'll tap on the front of your legs. So we're going to tap down our legs, trying to cover as much surface area as you can, so fingers wide, and tap down to your knees and send your knees some extra love. Then go below your knees, tap down the front of your leg to the front of your ankle, onto your feet, and spend some extra time, especially if you have your shoes off, between the webbing of your toes. And then you'll tap around the side, outside of your feet to your heels. Come up the back of your legs. So your calf, tap your back of your knees, tap your hamstrings, up to your buttocks. And you could use your fists and hit those sciatic tender spots, your sacral area, and then around to the sides. So now you're going to be with palms open, tapping down the sides of your legs. Again, hands wide, trying to cover as much surface area as you can. So get your lateral legs, lateral knees, down the sides of your legs, and then move your fingers inside your legs and tap under your ankle bones. And now we're going to go up the inside of our legs, inside of your calf, inside of your knees, inner thighs, and tap up into your belly. And then you can just bring your hands back to your heart. This is a lovely thing to do anytime of the day or night. If you can't sleep, whatever, just to cross your hands, bring them to your heart. Breathe slower and deeper than you normally do, as if you're breathing in and out through your heart. And send someone, something, or someplace gratitude and love. And then you can relax your arms. The other thing that I like to teach, and we can sit down for this, is I worked for the VA, so taking care of veterans with a variety of injuries and illnesses. And we, as an acupuncturist, I would do ear acupuncture. And so your ear is considered a microsystem of your whole body. And you can think of it's like a baby upside down. So my earlobe is my brain and my face. This inner ridge, like depressed area, as if I put my ear in my ear, or my finger in my ear canal, and then I rub around that depressed area. That's actually innervates your whole vagus nerve. So heart, lungs, intestines are all in that area. And then you'll feel this ridge that's just above that area. And so that ridge is your spine. And we would put little needles up under that ridge for low back pain and thoracic pain and cervical pain. So rubbing along that ridge is actually stimulating the ear to treat your spinal issues. And then you go up above that ridge, as close as you can to your face. There's a little groove there, and there's a parasympathetic activation point there. And then just above that, there's a little dimple, and that's what it's called Shen Men. So Shen Men is a master point for your whole body, and it's used to calm your system. And then if you just go above that, kind of grab your ear like a Dumbo ear, you pull up on it, that's your allergy point, and then your feet, your hands as you go around. Like this upper part is your hands, your forearms. As you go down, come to just above the earlobe, that's your shoulders. And then, like I said, the earlobe is your face and your brain. So you can take time, and you don't have to even know what point you're touching. You just want to massage your entire ear and, rub and stretch and rub and press. And if you have pets, you know that your pets love to have their ears rubbed. Well, there's a reason. So that's another simple thing that you can insert into your day to move you out of that threat into a thrive state. Does anybody have any questions?
Have a question.
Yes, Elena.
When you put your hands on your heart, does it matter which hand is underneath and which is on the top?
No, the big thing is the touch. So anytime we touch ourselves, we are producing oxytocin. So a lot of people think that oxytocin, that feel-good chemical that helps you connect with other people, is just produced when you touch other people, but really our touch, our care, our hugging ourselves, all of that brings you into a thrive state. So even just, watching TV, you can sit, rub your arms, or you can hug your heart and rub your shoulder. That's what we call supportive touch, and that stimulates oxytocin, which is a feel-good chemical. But they've actually done research that people with higher oxytocin levels have better blood sugar control and better A1Cs. So that's what I'm saying about the fascia and the distribution of the neurochemicals and the hormones and all of those positive neurotransmitters that we have the ability to produce ourselves if we can tap into those states frequently during the day. So dancing, singing, hugging, chanting, cold water. I mean, people did this stuff always, and somehow we don't do these things anymore unless it's some kind of a, scheduled, structured thing. But it's meant to be what we do and how we feel alive and happy.
Thank you. It was very pleasant and helpful.
When you're stressed about the temperature in Texas, you can calm yourself down.
Yeah, good idea. Or
Sarah Travers joined a little bit late because she's the one who was up in the mountains, but she's added some stuff to the chat. She added the affirmations to use with the tapping. And
Hi, I'm here. It's just dark where I am, and I was doing a tour of a goat farm where I am, and it ran until really late, and then I had to we were carpooling, so I was like, can't really join the call here. But I'm glad I got to still be a part of some of yours, Denise, and good job, Mom.
and are the goats regulating?
Still regulating. They had all of these babies. Oh, they had 100 kids at this operation, and this is what they're doing. And we got to see like 3-day-old baby goats, and they had some baby lambs. They had one llama. Not very social, the llama. The goat, super social.
So that's another way to regulate, is to get outside, to get into nature, to bond, with the flowers this time of year. Or Sarah and I were lucky enough to go on a trip with the lady who discovered the mycelium network in the forest floor. And so the mycelium network is designed to nourish, just like the extracellular matrix, it nourishes our body. The mycelium network carries all of those nutrients to different types of trees. And that's why when we cut a forest down and then we try to plant a monocrop, it's not going to work, because the mycelium fungi need to be there to support the whole biosphere. And we're the same way. We need that fascia in our body to carry those nutrients throughout for us to be healthy and happy.
So much great information.
And it's fun information. That's the beauty of it. It's not depressing. It's like, oh my gosh, I can just do these simple things that make me happy, and my body will be happy and connect with my heart and my spirit.
Yes. Okay. Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you both so much. I felt so invigorated after the movements that Denise shared, and then doing the whole body tapping. My whole body was just tingling. And then I feel like I'm gonna want to massage my ears all day.
Yeah, and Sarah
There's so
did
many
put in
points there.
Sarah did put in the chat the picture of the ear.
Mhm.
So this spot, I don't know if you can see, there's that whole ridge that I was talking about. Can you, I guess it's so small I can't. Anyway, check it out. Anything that's in blue, you want to focus more attention to. But any place you touch your ear is going to have an effect on your well-being.
It may not be the best quality picture because I just took a screenshot of it, but Lassie, I can send you a better quality picture of this, and then maybe you could have it as like a resource for other people watching this later or something. An attachment.
That sounds great. Yeah, I can add it to the recording. Yeah, and the recording of this will be in the Thrive community, and then you guys will have a copy of it as well.
And
you.
add the words also which accompanied the tapping, the releasing, the yeah,
Yeah, so those should be in there. Releasing all resistance.
releasing.
I'm living to my full potential and allowing the universe to unfold as it should.
Mm.
And then the Heart Math website is a great place to learn the strategies about how living in that gratitude, appreciation, and awe is actually producing Thrive neurochemicals that keep you out of that fight, flight, freeze space.
Nice. I do some Joe Dispenza meditations in the Thrive group, and he also does that same practice of breathing in through your heart. And that may be where he got it from the heart math.
Right, no, I think all of us learned it from Heart Math. So
Yeah.
that's the resource to check out.
Yeah, awesome. Well, thank you so much for leading us, and thank you so much, everybody, for being here and being part of this wonderful experience.
It really
So
was
much
wonderful.
appreciation.
Thank you. Thank you, Denise.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah, have a beautiful night, everybody.
You too.
Yeah,
Thank you.
And let your universe unfold as it should, and
Very
enjoy all the
good.
blessings that come your way as you release all resistance.
Thank you.
Yes,
Bye.
thank you. Bye-bye.
Good
Bye.
night, everybody.
Bye-bye.